Hello ladies and gentlemen, so this is another video that I'm creating. Actually, just reading this article from Databricks about big data pipelines and how to create them using Lakeflow. And this is one of the case studies that I'm reading right now. So if you're into data engineering or data scientist or analysis, you might like this, and you will get to know some terms maybe that you might not have heard before. So let's start. This is a case study from a Hinge Health company. It is related to a health where the patients are given a wearable device that can be tracked by the company, and along with that, the patients or the are connected to a proper health practitioner or a doctor that gives some guidance on that, right? So this is around it is based in Bangalore, and it is around a health like space. So let's start how it goes. So then initially I saw this, and it is talking about how it is transforming the way that they were having their previous data pipelines, and after going into Databricks, the things have changed a lot, and they have multiple scenarios, but they are now using only one scenario, one pipeline to accept all the different scenarios of the ingested data using a perfect parameter concepts. So let's go. It says around Hinge is currently available to over 18 million people. That is a great number. And if 18 million is like, if I'm not wrong, it is 1 crore 80 lakh people, I think so. And it is like 1800 employer health plan clients. So the next thing is like, I got to know about the Databricks Spark declarative pipelines to simplify the change data capture. So what is a change data capture is like, you have a database table, right? And then what happens there is a new data comes up, so it gets in logs. So there's a change in the data, or the change happened in the database. So this again gets stored in a logs in the DB, and from there, when this change happened, it captures that. So this is a change data capture concept basically. And then it says about the service level agreements. So what this term is, that when there's a service provider and there's a customer, so they agree, they have a document, or they basically agree on something, that what all services will be provided by the provider to the customer. So in this way they have this, and to meet those requirements they are using the Agiobix data pipeline. And then we have another term, that is a Databricks Spark declarative pipelines. Let me find out about this a little bit, because I am not sure about what does it mean. Full power of declarative ETL. What is data uses full power of declarative ETL? Enable you to define what transformation data quality rules you want without writing step-by-step organizational logic. This approach batch appealing, automate dependency management, scaling and recovery. Okay, so what I understood from this, that you are declaring, or you are writing the logic, but you're not writing the code, but using an interface. Basically you are writing or defining the logic that you want. So it says that Spark declarative pipeline enable you to define what transformations and the data quality rules you want without writing a step-by-step orchestration logic. So in which order it is going to be executed, you don't have to write that. You just have what transformation you want, and that will be done. And this approach works for both the batch and the streaming as well. So it has unified batch and streaming, automated optimization, built-in data quality, and then serverless scaling. Nice. Now I think I understood that. Let's go to the next page. What it talks about: a custom ingestion to consume data from 70 plus and third party data sources via Fivetran. So Fivetran is spelling is Fivetran, and I saw on Wikipedia what is it. So it is kind of data transfer or ETL that basically moves the data from one place to another. So it is like a tool that is used to transfer the data, right? Then company has 2000 Postgres tables across 35 plus databases, and their data has grown tenfold. It is written here that I think when they started it was 20 to 30 terabytes of data. Now it is 300 terabyte within a year. It is a huge amount, literally. Then we have a thing that says low latency data pipeline. What is meant by this low latency? So let's see. Low latency, I think I understood that the difference between your request and the response that is coming up. So low latency means that the response time is very less basically. And then you have another term that is throughput. Throughput is when throughput is high, the movement of data or the network call, the API call is very high. So that is a high throughput and low latency basically. So this is the meaning of these two terms. Then let's go something next. Now they talk about the journey of Hinge Health and the CDC architecture. So I think they started, and every startup does that. Whenever they started, they try to get the most optimum architecture, and this article says that they actually tried the Snowflake, EMR, Redshift, and the Glue as well, but they came up to this Databricks, and they are very glad that they came here. So the most important thing that they are saying that why the Databricks is great or why they like database is that everything came under in one picture. They don't have to copy data from one place to another, and they are able to do the ETL, the data warehousing, ML streaming, batch and generative AI or application at one place. So whatever problem they have related to data, they can do at one place. So I think that is the most happy thing they wanted, and they are pretty much good with that. Then what comes next? That new data file using this. Also I said any large loads from coming. Okay, so previously also they are giving an architecture of how they use Debezium Postgres to stream the data to Kafka, and they were using Amazon S3 to sync the data. But I think they changed it architecture and moved to Azure Databricks again. I don't know why, but there must be some engineers working on that testing, and every domain is like having a different architecture requirement. AWS and S3 might be good on one domain, but in another industry or domain it can be good. It is just my understanding, but I'm not sure about why they changed it. But they might have saw something better. That's why they have changed that. They have 35 data pipelines running, but they all run off on a single code base. This is something great. This means that their code is very standardized, and they are trying to do things very nicely and sending proper config driven system with proper parameters. This makes the architecture very scalable and universal as well. So when you are meeting different customers with different requirements, different expectations, and their data architecture is different for different customers, so in that case it helps a lot. Then they have a topic of lowering cost while scaling with a reading from Kafka instead of S3. So they are using just Kafka and no S3 right now, as written in this article. And the cost is also reduced by 50%, and their data has grown 10 times more. So this is good. Reduce latency by 80%. This is very important to note that there's a inverted commas. It is written that with the first iteration of the pipeline, when they first ran the pipeline, it was challenging to meet the SLA, that is service level agreement. So there are many type of agreement, all have different requirements, but all requirements to be coming in one code base, it is very difficult. But currently they are able to do that, but in the first iteration, that was the problem that they were facing. And that is the beauty, that in softwares, you can iterate a lot, and you should iterate a lot if you are going to create a great system. This is not possible with the hardware, like in robotic industry, where the mechanics of the thing comes into play. You can't do iterations very fast. This is like a pro and con, right? So this is a con of a robotics industry. So that's why the growth of robotics is a little bit slower if you compared with the software and all. Then we have, I think, nothing more. This um, this case study comes to an end here. So I think you came to know about change data capture and what is Fivetran, and then you know about service level agreement, what is that, and then what are the capabilities of a database. So you can do ML streaming, you can do stream processing, batch ETL, and you can do schema, yeah, universal creation of your system according to your domain. That is also possible. um, then one thing I was also reading in this, I might cover this in a separate video, but whenever, like, suppose there's a 2 or 3 minute ETL that is running, right, but after 2 minutes the ETL stops due to some error and 1 minute is still left. So after you do the configuration changes or the fix of the issue, the ETL runs again from the same checkpoint. So in that way you can save the cost of your resources as well. um, this is a good feature, genuinely I'm telling you, because as a developer, as a data engineer, I have faced this, that whenever you're in the last minute, if your pipeline breaks, right, um, it is a human error basically, because we are also human. We might make some mistakes, but this helps in actually saving, just if it fails you fix it, and then it can run again for 1 minute and you are done. So that is all about this Hinge Health case study. If you like it, please watch my video, and more videos coming up surely, maybe after some gaps, but yeah, they will be coming. Thank you. Bye bye.